I tried to do a cold open on my own, showing off something I got all set up on my desk finally, but the mic didn't pick it up. But I got a piano. Not like a real
Yo!
piano.
Oh, like a digital piano?
Yeah, it's like a MIDI one for music composition. But
I have one of those. I fucking love
yo,
mine.
it's so
Yo.
fun.
They're so fun. I love that. Also, I think this is a first in Bark Bark Meow history where we have Ruby, Misha, and the boot.
And the boot. I think we've had it for
And
like 10 minutes max that it's been this arrangement. This cast of characters.
there has been a time that Solus has not been here. Like he's like dipped for one reason or another. But I don't think we've ever had the boot.
No? Maybe I just left the boot off. Well, welcome on in,
Comment
boot.
below. Yeah, introduce yourself, boot.
Shout out to Boot.
Yo. Okay. I don't know if anybody so Misha is the original creator of Broomby because I kept missing, and then like that was fucking hilarious. But I made some for the rest of us, and I don't know if anybody else gets this, but Solus like is spelled soul like the soul of a shoe.
Soul-is.
That's what I was going for.
What's funny is, I don't know if I've told you this, I can't take credit for the name Broomby. I didn't come up with that.
Well, you created the broom with the ruby.
That I did, yes.
Ruby. Yeah.
But like, it was during the episode when that was premiering, somebody was like, Broomby, and I was like, oh my god, that's genius.
That's fucking genius.
Oh my god. Our viewers are smarter than us. Our viewers are...
Dude, our viewers have written a Bible.
I know. They're smarter, they're funnier. They're the whole package. Which, by the way...
The whole package.
When we hit 1,000 subscribers, because we're getting pretty close, we will read the Book of Broomby.
Shout out to the subscribers.
Shout out to the subscribers.
There was a pun there, and I fucking lost it. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Oh, wait. We're too new into the episode to say fuck. Damn.
Damn. We're 2.5 minutes in. I think we can start cussing now. I think
okay, good.
The cutoff is like 90 seconds, I think. Oh, you can't say that
it's
word,
like 10
though.
seconds.
It's more than that. It might be like 20, 30. I don't know. It's such a weird thing. I remember I was watching a channel that I haven't watched in a while. It was called Team APS, and they do like Yu-Gi-Oh content. And they used to be like partnered with Konami, so they made like official Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and then they stopped being partnered. And so they just like dropped an F-bomb in one of their videos, and there was like applause, and it says we can say that now on the screen.
That's incredible.
Right.
I don't know if I was just watching the Beetlejuice movie last night, which phenomenal movie. I'm surprised it was so good.
Yeah.
Cause I like knew it'd be good, but I'm like, oh wow, great movie. Anyway, and you're allowed to say fuck and still be like a PG-13 rated movie, but you can only say it once.
Yeah.
And it was really funny because my roommate was like, so Beetlejuice says fuck, and I was like, whoa, and he's like, see, you can say it once. I wish more people used that. And then later in the movie, he says fuck again, but it's censored this time. And we were both dying laughing.
Oh my god.
Because you can only say it once.
Yeah.
So they totally made that movie joke. Oh, hang on. I'm going to grab my phone charger.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me slowly.
Fuck, I wish I was better at piano.
I too wish I was better at piano.
Right?
Holy balls, it's hot in my room, and I had to turn off the fan, so,
Yeah, I'm suffering also. It's been a lot cooler than it's been, but it's still... I live in fucking Washington. Why did it hit 100 last week? This is bullshit.
Dude, bullshit. And it's, like, gonna get worse.
Yeah. Thanks, global warming. Oh, wait.
Do I have a Oh, yeah.
What? Sad trumpet to global warming is wild.
Yeah. Global warming.
Yo.
There's this one of, like, a hot guy, but like a guy that looks like he's hot emoji, but I don't think it's about the heat. I was gonna press that one, but I don't think.
I'm gonna guess it's not about the heat, but now I'm curious. That's insane.
Right.
I always wondered about that. Like, did that didn't have the same meaning when that song came out, did it?
Bustin'? Yes, it did.
It did? Okay, so they threw it in there because of that. Okay.
Yes, that was its intention completely.
Okay.
Kind of like, there's a few other songs like that, like, listening them back as an adult. Even as a kid, I knew there was, like, something up there, but I didn't know exactly what was going on.
Dude, I remember, God, that song S&M, that came out when I was in middle school. And, yeah, I knew the lyrics to that.
Yeah, fucking that one, Jesus.
Me,
have you ever
a
listened
middle
to the song,
schooler, fucking singing it.
Have you ever listened to the song Animals?
The Here We Go Again, we play like animals, we play pretend. That one?
No, but great song. The one that goes like,
oh, is it Maroon 5?
Nothing wrong with it. We're nothing but we're animals.
Oh, that one.
Like fucking Coldplay or Nickelback or something.
I think it's Nickelback.
Well, so I was talking to a friend, and he was like, well, what do people even do with, like, expensive cars? And I was like, dude, you fucking them. He's like, what? No, they're too expensive to fuck in. And I was like, well, you fucking expensive fursuits, don't you? He's like, well, of course. I'm like, that's what car people do. They fucking... I know, right? The idea that, like, fucking in fursuit was normal, I'm like, oh, man. But you fucking expensive cars.
Fucking the car. Fucking the fursuit in the car.
That's what I said. And then he's like, is that a thing? And I said, there's even a song about it. So I played Animals, and, like, listening to it, I was like, holy shit. Little me did not know this was as intense as it was.
I thought you said you were going to be late. Hold on, you're not on screen.
This is late.
I got to toss the boot
20
aside.
minutes late.
Yeah, but you were already planning on being, like, 30 minutes late. But you're only 20
No, I didn't say
minutes
30.
late. You said 5.
I
I think you said 5.
Oh, I said okay. I said 5 because I thought I should be back no matter what by then.
Okay.
I was trying to estimate like what the worst time is. Yes, we made history. What?
We did.
We made history because we don't think that me, Misha, and Solus, spelt like sole of a shoe, have ever all been on screen together.
Oh wow!
Our first filler episode.
I feel like that's happened, but that just shows my consistency.
Well, I think I forgot to put the boot on when because there was that episode where it was me and Ruby, and then you guys like did a hot swap, and it was me and Solace for the second half because like Solace was running late, and Ruby had to go. Kind of worked out weirdly enough, but there was that hot swap episode. But yeah,
no, it was one of those things where we moved recording to Tuesday, and so my mom was like, "Dude, I'm not feeling it Sunday. Can I just pick you up after work and go get those quick groceries?" So I've substituted a salad for my lunch every meal.
Salad.
Dallas.
The problem is you have to buy that once a week because, from my knowledge, I don't know of any salad that lasts much more than like 7 days on the packaging.
No.
So that's why I needed to go. Bad news. Store did not have any good salad. It just had packaged baby spinach. They were out of everything else. And look, I'm fine with spinach, but I'm looking for like a mix.
On Pride Month?
How do you not have salad?
Is salad gay?
No iceberg lettuce either.
Misha, salad is so gay.
How is it? What?
Tossing the salad?
Well, that's just everybody tosses a salad.
Is that something people say?
Not everybody tosses the salad.
I'm Googling it.
All right,
I just feel like a stereotype of gay people are that they're a little bit more health conscious, which means they do eat salads more.
Meaning, I'm not health conscious by choice. I'm health conscious because I want a bottom. Oral sex.
That's true.
No,
bottoming is a diet thing too.
Why? Okay.
Wait, what?
If you're under 18 listening to this, go outside and play. It's summer. Eating ass, rimming, or tossing salad are the more exciting terms for the act of analingus. Didn't know that was a term. Oral sex on the bumhole. This is another taboo topic. No, I knew, like, hearing it out loud, because there's, like, cunnilingus or whatever, Now
Yeah.
that I hear,
Yeah,
I've just
cunnilingus,
never,
yeah.
No,
I've
that was
never
right.
heard anyone call it analingus. They just
I've
call
never heard it
rimming.
called that, and I've heard tossing the salad was always to me. I thought was just a euphemism for sex.
What is tossing?
Like I
the
didn't
salad?
realize. I thought it was tossing the salad meant yo, we're gonna go toss the salad. We're gonna go fuck is what that meant.
No, it's specifically oral, typically rimming.
Why is it called that?
It's a
guess your
prison thing.
tongue's,
Lower
you know,
inmates
fucking-
are forced
Mm.
to lick assholes of their leading inmates as they put salad dressing on it to hide the taste, hence tossing the salad.
Ew. Okay, I regret asking. That's on me.
See, I as somebody who just doesn't need to do that stuff all that much, I would succeed in prison that way. I would not succeed in the other.
You'd succeed in prison? Oh, we talked about this. I would succeed in prison.
I
You'd
am
succeed
prison
in
pretty.
what? Oh,
Oh, you are prison pretty, Solus. I'd protect you though.
Please, I will hold your pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to be my bitch and I'll protect you.
ayo.
Bark.
I'd say I'd protect you too, Misha, but Misha's not going to prison.
No. Too goody
Like,
two shoes for prison.
Yeah.
We will once being gay is illegal again.
Aw, that's right.
Yeah,
In
we're
July.
Oh yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah,
Happy Pride, everybody.
happy Pride. Gay's gonna be illegal soon. I actually have a Pride story that I couldn't share with you guys. I don't know if it was last time, or the time before, because we were actually filming. I was in my family's house, and I wanted to tell this story, but I couldn't because like they were there. So I went to a furry pride water park event, and it was so fun and so gay, right? It
Yeah.
was so fun and so gay that like the lifeguards kept like getting excited when we would line up for a ride, mostly because we were just a lot of fun. Like we were playing like heads up, we were letting people play with us. We're just, we're just a big group of people and we're having a really good time together. We're letting anybody join us, and we're all dressed pretty rainbow, and we're all obviously gay. I remember even walking into this event going, oh no, Fortuna, Furiosa, I'm not wearing anything rainbow. How will they know? And both of them, without even blinking, were like, Ruby, they'll know. And I was like, well, that's alrighty. But I went from
Clocked.
that.
Absolutely clocked.
It's dude clocked so hard, and I was like, okay. I walked right into that. What was I saying?
Water park.
Went water park.
Pride story.
Then
What?
I went from, oh my god, I went from that to immediately going to my to visit my family, and I love my family. Don't get me wrong, but like I was like, maybe I should tone it down for them, right? So I'm wearing mostly black and white, and I have a Subaru bag with a rainbow strap on it. I love this bag. It's the gayest thing I own. Thank you, Fortuna, my wife, for this bag. So I'm wearing the rainbow bag. I wouldn't even say it's like inherently pride. It's a black Subaru bag, rainbow strap. Is what it is. And my mom goes like, oh, don't, like, if you wear that, people think you're gay. So I was like, maybe they
damn.
will, type of thing. I just kind of leave it alone. And then there was this lady, very unassuming lady. She was in a car, just looked normal ass lady. And she even had an accent, so I don't even know if she spoke like fluent English, because she looked at me. She smiled in that way that like if we start talking, neither of us will understand each other. I don't know if you recognize that smile. I got that a lot back when I lived in LA. But I smiled back, and she goes, as she points to my little Subaru bag, she goes, Happy Pride, and then walks away. And I have never felt more validated in my life.
That's adorable.
I don't think she was gay. She didn't give me, and I don't want to judge her. That's the only thing she said to me. She might be gay, but I have never felt more validated in my life. And then my mom makes some comment about like, see, and then I just kind of like shrug it off. But from that moment on, anytime I saw anybody wearing rainbow, I was like, I'm going to wish everybody happy Pride, because that meant so much to me. And then it happened on the opposite end. There was this guy, larger guy, a little unassuming, but then he turns around and he's got a little tiny rainbow on his shirt. And it's like one of those shirts where like, I don't know if this is a gay shirt or not, but like, fuck it, it's June.
Yeah.
If people, I say Merry Christmas to people in December, I can say Happy Pride in June, right? I point to his shirt and I go, oh, Happy Pride. And he gives me the most genuine smile, and he's like, Happy Pride to you too. And he walks away, and I was like, okay, we done good here. So the lesson of the day is you never know, and be seen, and thank you, random lady in California.
Let's
And
go.
Subaru's gay.
You like Subaru, like the car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subaru.
I drive a
Subaru.
Subaru.
For real, for
Subaru-
real.
Subaru is gay though.
It is.
Have you looked into the history of Subaru?
No.
I haven't, but really quick before you move on to tell us why Subaru is gay, which I definitely want to hear about, by the way. I do want to say, and I believe we've talked about this, and Ruby, it's probably something you've even said, but I feel like you're not even listening to yourself. You said, "Oh, I kind of like I love my family, but," and then you're like, "I kind of restrained myself." Essentially, you're valid in wanting to go low key to just not have to deal with the bullshit.
That's yeah.
That is still something incredibly valuable. You shouldn't have to in a perfect world, but it's like if you go there looking and claiming like incredibly flaming gay and like fuck, like it's gonna get comments and you don't want to deal with that. You're totally valid in not doing that.
That is true, and that is true, for our listeners as well. Like,
Yes.
It sucks, but still, like I could. You don't have to put yourself through the ringer every time.
it is weird to be so like loud and proud in like furry, and then it almost makes you feel like you have imposter syndrome.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, I feel like I have imposter syndrome all the time being in a straight passing relationship, but like, doesn't mean I don't want a dick any less. I know that, but also I don't know. It's one of those things,
Just one of those things.
I just remember again having a conversation with my mom and being like, I don't think you'd be upset if I came out as anything but straight. She said, "No, whoever you go to bed with at night is none of my issue." I was like,
Let's go.
"Cool."
W mom.
It can. I get definitely W mom. I get where it can be an issue in the sense of I understand the need to grandchildren are a big thing. There are ways around it, of course, but it's unfair to be like, oh, being gay or being in a gay relationship doesn't make that a little harder. Also, just like your family, and this is much less of an issue now, but who knows, it might become more of an issue. But like, I know it was a thing back in even like the 70s and 80s where parents would be mad at their kids for being gay just because they were afraid for them. What if, I mean, one, they thought gay people were like evil predators, then that's even still a stereotype. And two, they were afraid of them getting HIV. Like they were begging them not to be gay because they thought it was for their own safety. It's so complicated.
It is, and that's a lot of that comes down to, and that's why like gay, queer, trans, any of that stuff is kind of demonized, is because a lot of it is, oh, we don't think children should be thinking about or being approached by those kinds of subjects. But then that inherently like is saying that being queer means that you're being sexual towards anything at all times, and that's not true. It's just your preference and who you want to go to bed with. And people, I one of the biggest things is and it's a societal thing where we're so locked up in like making sure what we wear presents a certain way, because like drag or like non gender conforming clothing and stuff should not make a fucking difference, and our kids should all see that it's like, look, they're just wearing clothes that they like. That should be it. But unfortunately, it's tied in directly towards like gender conformity and sexuality for some reason. Bleh.
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 I don't like it.
That actually is a good segue into what the Subaru Segay, exactly. Well, okay, hang on.
Oh, wait.
There you go.
Jesus.
Okay,
While
so
we're doing this, I'm trying to find luggage to buy online.
well, just go to a thrift store.
No, I'm not even gonna chance that. I am looking at United Airlines exact checked bag size. What happens if you accidentally go over the limit?
They kill
You get charged $300.
You get charged what?
Like $300.
Oh, so even if it's a quarter inch more than what they say on their checked bag, they're just gonna slap you with an extra $300?
so complicated. They can slap you. Most gate agents will just like scoot it by, but that is not a risk you should take. Most gate agents will just be
Yes.
like just push it past, but they absolutely can slap you with that oversized bag fee, and it is like $300.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Most luggages will conform to like
Well,
airline regulations, obviously.
There's one that I really want, but it's literally a 1/4 inch too big on one of the sides.
That doesn't make sense. There's no way they'd like make it that way. I would Google it.
It's on the Amazon website. I don't want to shop Amazon, trust me, but that's what I'm dealing with.
Bro, what are you shopping for?
Check luggage. Check bag.
Yeah. Why?
Because of
For
Anthrocon.
Because I'm flying to Anthrocon.
yeah, but
Where are my clothes going? How are my clothes going?
just go to a thrift store. They've got so much luggage there.
A, you forget I don't have a car anymore.
I did
B,
forget.
the local thrift store is like a Goodwill, and maybe, but I am more on the I'm just gonna fucking pay for this and deal with it.
Okay, luggage is overpriced, but
That's fine.
what else?
I'll have it forever.
No.
The 6 more times I fly, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
Oh man.
But I'll have it. I'm not looking to spend a ton of money here, by the way. I'm just looking to try and keep it under this stupid checked bag stuff. Flying's annoying.
Oh, yes, flying is annoying, and I say
Trying to
that as
wonder.
somebody who does it fucking constantly.
I was looking for hard cases, but I'm thinking I don't think there's anything that I'm gonna have in the checked bag because if you can bring your laptop in a carry-on, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it with my fursuit head, and I'm just gonna carry on my fursuit head with the laptop. So nothing in this bag is actually gonna be fucking required to be in a hard case.
Do you have a duffel then?
Maybe
Because if you have a duffel bag, just use that.
maybe that'll work.
You could literally use a box if you really needed to.
Just make sure it fits.
I've done that.
Well, you were gonna segue into your Subaru
is gay.
right?
Yeah.
Writing that down.
Subarus are gay. So have you guys heard the stereotype that Subarus are gay?
Yes, I've also heard the stereotypes that they're specifically like lesbian soccer moms.
Yes. Well, not lesbian soccer moms, but yes. It eventually became the soccer mom car, but Subaru is gay and it's specifically targeting lesbians on purpose. This was an ad. It was considered an open secret in the 90s that like Subaru was the lesbian car, because back in the 90s you really couldn't be lesbian outright, and you certainly couldn't like advertise to them. That shit would be crazy. But it is like intentionally a lesbian car, including ads like this. I think this is one of the more overt ones. Oh, you can see actually the little thumbnail where you see these two cars, blah, blah, blah. But one of them does have a little rainbow tag, and it says different drivers, different roads. Subaru's gay and lesbian-focused marketing campaign was a huge hit, and the company's efforts continue today. Not only is the association between lesbians and Subaru part of pop culture, but in the focus groups of online polls, gay and lesbian customers consistently choose Subaru vehicles as their favorite cars, or Subaru as the most gay-friendly brand. As one particular put it, Martina Navratilova is a spokesperson. What more do you want? Sorry, I butchered that name. Lesbians buying Subaru cars did not single-handedly resurrect the car maker. Yeah, I believe it was back in the 80s where like this car was kind of going under, and then they specifically started targeting lesbians. So lesbians bought them like fucking crazy, and it saved the car.
Yo.
And they still market to lesbians to this day.
Good.
I'm trying to find exactly when. There's a few. My buddy Tux was showing me, because he works on Subaru cars. He was showing me commercials these commercials were so good. They're back in the 80s and 90s, and it was so like, if you know, you know. But if you didn't know, then you wouldn't think it was gay.
Yeah.
But like, it was gay. It was gay on purpose.
It was gay as fuck.
An open secret. Lesbians' affinity for Subaru is a popular punchline, like wearing Birkenstocks. It's the stuff of Saturday Night Live sketches. Subaru's seminal role in gay advertising is famous in the business and marketing world, but the car maker's role in cultivating a lesbian-friendly image is less well known among gay people. It's likely because so many straight people were blind to these advertisements.
Can I
So
just
it was
say?
so you. Go ahead.
Can I just say, using the word seminal in an article about Subaru like selling to lesbians, very funny. Very. I don't know. It's got the word semen in it. Very funny. I noticed that. Anyway, thank you. Okay. I thought I was left hanging there. Okay, thank God.
No, I was just.
You were looking.
It takes me a minute to open the board.
I was like, oh God, oh fuck.
I'm reading an article. I cannot find like any of the commercials. But yeah, Subaru's. Oh yeah, like ads like this. Like, look at this ad. This is such a if you know ad. But if you don't know, I wouldn't think twice about it.
Entirely comfortable with its orientation. Jesus.
So Subaru.
The new Subaru Forester. Hey, that's what I drive.
Nice.
Yeah.
Subaru was not the first company to create advertisements for gay and lesbian consumers, but it was the first major company in the United States to do so transparently and consistently. Subaru's lesbian-focused ad campaigns was widely discussed in the New York Times and the Washington Post and trade magazines. About its success helped spur the wide growth in the gay and lesbian marketing. By the early 2000s, marketers were writing all articles called "Gay and Lesbians in the underserved market" and "Perfect Consumers." So Subaru being gay is not only like funny, it's also really relevant because when capitalism, as evil as it is, realized that you could you could market off the gays, that's kind of the beginning of like rainbow capitalism, which, as much as we do hate it, is kind of necessary right now.
Yeah.
Like, people were like, wait, lesbians say, and especially lesbians, people knew gay men existed. Nobody thought lesbians existed, not in the 90s and 2000s. Lesbians were just bi women who needed to find a dick. Like,
dude, there's still men out there that do believe that.
Yeah, that's still a widely known, like, stereotype.
Which, like, I've always said that, like, if it ends up being the case that, like, somebody is bi and just hasn't had the right dick, it's not you. If you are the type of man that makes those comments, you don't have the right dick. You're not going to convince them.
It's not going to be you.
It's not going to be you.
I also read a really, really fascinating article from a lesbian, and she's like, her words, not mine. I'm a dick. I've been a dick my whole life. I've always been a dick. But I, like, in my later years of life, I realized that I do like men. But, and again, her words, not mine. Gary, if you need to censor this, let me know. But she's like, I'm also a hag, and like I don't see myself as any less of a lesbian for liking girly men, for lack of a better word. But it was a really, really fascinating article. But it was an article about like lesbianism and identity, and she's basically like, I've been a lesbian my whole life. I am not going to change. I was tromping the streets and fighting for your rights before y'all were even out of diapers. So you don't get to say like, I'm erasing bi culture. I'm not. I'm just a lesbian, and y'all are way too hung up on labels anyway.
True.
And I get to call myself whatever I want. Blah blah. It was very interesting.
Dude, the amount of TikTok furries that are like infighting constantly about like labels and what other people call themselves, and just stay in your own lane. Like, you can disagree with what somebody calls themselves, but you don't have the power to tell them not to call themselves that, you know? They are living their own experience. I don't know. We got bigger problems right now, you know?
Yeah, we have so much bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
As important as these labels are, like, for the time being, because we have to recognize different identities to like know that they exist. Let's remember that the end goal is that this stuff just doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
That you don't have to be like gay or lesbian. You're just a person who's into another person.
Exactly.
Or balloon toy, whatever you're into, as long as it can consent.
I don't think balloon toys can consent.
I have a
If they
few furries
do-
that would absolutely disagree with you.
On to TikTok
If
to
they-
cancel the balloon furry.
I was about to say if they do consent and they're talking to you, I have
I want whatever
questions.
you're smoking. Because holy shit.
Chat,
Um,
comment below. Can the balloon furries can balloons consent?
Chat, don't comment below.
chat, don't comment.
Chat,
Oh,
watching
here's another really good Subaru ad. I just found another good one. It says, "It's not a choice, it's the way we're built."
That
That
is
so
actually
good.
I like
good.
that one a lot.
They had a purple Forester at some point? No. That looks so clean.
That sounds
Why do
kinda
we
cool.
why do we not have purple cars anymore? Why are all the cars just black or white?
There's
Excuse
actually
me.
really interesting history behind that too.
Oh god.
Excuse me, what's wrong with black and white?
Oh, right. I just want variety, Solus. Black and white's fine, but I also like other colors.
That's the straight flag, Solus.
Yeah, this,
That's true.
well, he is being homophobic this month, so
That is true, though. Yeah.
the man who told
My
me that I
colors
could
are
call him
based off yin and
daddy,
yang.
As
The
a
man-
bi, you get to be gay, but only for half the month.
the
Technically,
man
I'm
who
not bi
replied to
anymore.
me-
I'm pan.
the
Oh,
man
yeah,
who
we have to change
replied
your
to
little
me-
bandana.
Yeah, this was from
Oh yeah,
back
this
when I was
this
like,
is an old bandana, yeah.
this is
Why-
before I was
why-
like, because for a long time I was just like, I'm bi, and now it's like, no, it's not that. I don't care what bits you got. I'll work with it all.
Exactly. That's why Rascal's pan, and by extension, I'm pansexual.
I find a
is,
lot because, well, see, I always wonder about this because there's that thought of like, so I said I was bi because like a lot of my thought process was like, so like, oh, because I don't care if you're a man, trans man, or whatnot. I'll, same gender, whatever. I don't care. But I guess that doesn't fit under bi. It's more of a pan thing where again, it's like, just have fun.
I've always thought of it like
Yes.
with bisexuality, gender matters a lot more, whereas pan is just like whoever I end up being attracted to is whoever I'm attracted to. Because
Yeah.
when I identified as bi, I was with someone who was AFAB, and therefore sexually, I wasn't interested in other. Wow, they are being really loud outside. Anyway, I was interested in other AMAB people or like other men sexually. So gender did matter. And then I came out as gay, and then I was like, men, trademark. But over time, I've just kind of realized, like, romantically, I'm gay. But sexually, it's like, whoever's down to do stuff, let's get it on. I don't care about gender. I don't care what's in your pants. I don't care. I'll find out what's in your pants.
That could be that's also a thing. You can be gay, romantic, and bisexual.
Yeah. So that's why Misha is gay and Rascal is pan. So I can express both of those identities through two of my sonas,
The little the flag for romantic and sexual being different is very cute.
Oh, is
Mhm.
it? Is there a flag for that?
It is you put
Show it.
there's a lot of them, but you put the flag of your romantic sexuality. So like mine would be demisexual, but demi-romantic. So you put that in a heart on top of your sexuality flag. So yours would be the men's spec flag, which is that blue one, in
I
a
love the
heart
blue
on
flag.
top of the blue flag is pretty.
Did I tell you that, like, apparently I bought the wrong version of that flag, and people used to give me shit about that on TikTok? Speaking of infighting.
That's hilarious.
It was like, people would comment and they're like, you have a transphobic flag. And I'm like, one, yeah, my trans best friend bought me this flag, so talk to them. And two, like, I think it is more expressive in my actions about whether or not I'm transphobic, not a piece of cloth that happens to have one of the bars be the wrong shade of blue. Because apparently there was like an older version of the flag, which was made by somebody who ended up being transphobic, so they updated the flag so that bottom bar is like a darker blue. And I had the old version.
That is also true for the lipstick lesbian flag.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to use that one either for the same reason.
Yeah. And it's like...
I get it, though.
on one hand I get it, on the other hand I was like, go away.
Some people have said that you're not supposed to use the lesbian flag, like the pink one. You have to use the orange one. No, you don't.
You can use whatever you want.
Yeah, some people say that the orange one, the pink one is like, oh, you're only into femmes. That's like transphobic or whatever. And the orange, because the orange in the new lesbian flag is supposed to represent like more like mask lesbians.
Okay. So the way I look at it is, again, so you don't have to technically use any flag specifically. It is about you are trying to present like accurate information though. So yeah, I mean, people could see the old flag and be like, oh, so it's without the T, because that's what you're basically saying is the old flags don't represent the sexuality inclusive to, I guess, like you're saying, like transgender. So that could come off as wrong because you're like, well, no, that's not what I meant. I didn't realize. I think that's fine.
I think it's an absolute crime. We don't use the axe flag anymore.
It was like one of those where it was like, that's a good one. It was one of those
the
where it was
battle
like,
axe flag.
I genuinely didn't know until like somebody pointed it out, and it was just like, oh, trying to figure out what I was gonna say. It was one of those where it's like only a few people ever pointed it out, so it's not like it's not a big deal. It's not one of those where it's like everybody knows not to use a certain flag, quote unquote. It was just like a few people who spend too much time online were like, hey, one bar of your flag is the wrong color, therefore I'm gonna assume you're a horrible person. And it's like, oh, okay. So my actions do not matter because of a piece of fabric on the wall behind me, because one of the bars is a different color.
So again, it's one of those things where you are presenting information, right? That is what the flag is there for. You are presenting information. But I think in the same vein is you should not assume that's what you mean. Like, you should go in with the best intentions, the best assumptions that person is just bi and inclusive, you know?
Yeah.
But you could definitely withhold a little bit of like, you know, because just as like with everybody, you can withhold a little bit of like caution. Because then if you see if they randomly pop off with something transphobic, then you know maybe it was intentional at that point, right? But you shouldn't come at somebody and just immediately assume they're transphobic.
Yeah. People get mad as fuck if you identify as a lesbian and not sapphic. And I'm like, guys, it doesn't matter nearly as much as you think it does.
I know. Yeah, it was one of the, like, I got comments a couple times of people being like, hey, are you transphobic? And I was like, no. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, if people ask, you know, is a bit of a odd question. I don't know. It was just one of those where it's like, if people ask because they saw the flag and they're like, uh-oh, that's fine. But when people were like, oh, I automatically assume you are transphobic, it's like, well, cool. You know, I'm not.
I get the sense that they it comes from the idea of flags, honestly, but the different type. Like, if you've got a Pepe behind your TikTok and he's on the wall, some people, like, that is a flag to other Nazis that you're a Nazi. Like, that's, I think that's the reason people get so up in arms about it.
Well, I'll start off with...
you are signaling to other transphobes that you're transphobic. But honestly, with the gay flags, guys, I can't keep up with this shit. Every year there's a new one.
Yeah.
So I can see this as it's because trans is definitely like in the big crosshairs right now as the most attacked thing in the last 8-9 years now.
I was gonna say this was like I haven't heard about it in a while, but this was like 3 or 4 years ago that this was going on.
And so with trans being what's under the major attack of all this, the right wing and all these kind of things, because it's a gateway into fighting just the LGBTQ community in general. I could see why, again, so like Ruby said, is there's a long history of the queer community also just infighting, but also like excluding trans or quote unquote some trans people not being trans enough for it to work, and all these things to where these flags may have actually been exclusive to trans people. So yes, that would be one of those like problems that would be identified by looking at that flag. And especially in a time and day where trans really needs all of our support from all of our communities, I could see why people are a little bit quick to jump on it. It's not necessarily right, of course. Don't make those assumptions.
It's just
But again, that's where you make that caution, where it's like, is this person kind of putting out that signal to the other transphobes, like I'm also transphobic, or is this just a mistake?
it's just one
Or
of those things where it was like,
I googled it. I googled
no.
transphobic men spec flag, and like it's not even coming up.
oh, is
Mm,
it? No. That, yeah, I don't even know, man. It was just one of those things where it's like, one of the bars was like a dark blue instead of a dark purple.
Because if you
mm,
Google transphobic lesbian flag,
The
actually a lot
lipstick
of them come
lesbian
up
one,
because there's quite a bit of history behind that.
yeah.
But I don't like which version of the men's spec flag is transphobic.
That's
I
the
can't
thing.
figure
I
it out
don't
yet.
remember. It was
Is
just,
it okay? I see this blue one. Is it the blue one
I
compared to the
don't
green one?
know. One of them, like the bottom, I remember it was the darkest bar was either dark blue or purple, and one of those is the problematic one apparently. But at the end of the day, I I don't know. It seemed like one of those things where it was like, it very rarely got brought up, and it seemed like it got brought up by people who like were constantly trying to bring up shit like that. And it was just like, this is not a big deal. Please.
mhm.
I promise there are bigger problems than what flag a furry has on his wall. What type of gay flag a furry has on his wall.
Because
You
Well,
I
know?
am not really seeing a difference in the men's flag. Not to say it's not relevant, but
so
I literally can't find it. But there is a difference in the lipstick lesbian flag. That flag,
Yes.
you are very much telling other lesbians that you are a transphobe. That's a turf
mm.
flag.
Yeah, because that one
So
is
and that's what I was
very
gonna
well
say.
known.
I agree with you, Misha. It's try to always come from that perspective of the victim, that being trans people, and especially in the like them being attacked from literally all sides right now. You can understand why
Yeah.
things may be said or assumed. You just got to keep hoping that they don't make those jump to conclusion assusions, you know?
Well, this is
It's
the
hard
other
for
Like,
me to
thing is
take
like,
anybody's under the 18's opinion like
oh
super
no, absolutely.
seriously with that stuff.
dude, I'm at the point,
Like
anybody under
your intentions are very
21,
nice. That's kind of all I have to say about it.
anybody under 21, man. Like,
That's what
I'm
I'm at
over
too,
it.
where if I see like low 20s and some off the wall like thing, I usually just ignore it because I'm like, I'll come back in like 3 to 5 years and see how drastically you've changed.
Right?
And the thing is, like, I get it because at 18, if I heard me, like if I was watching a furry podcast that I liked and the podcaster said, "Yeah, I'm not going to take anybody under the age of 18 seriously," my feelings
Oh,
would
I'd
have
have
been
been
hurt.
pissed, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I would have been up in arms and started commenting. And so I get it. I get because I've literally been that age, and I hope when you're my age, you don't give a shit like I don't.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the other thing between the transphobic lesbian flag and
Oh,
the
we love the
transphobic gay one
androgyny flag. That one is sick.
is just like Ruby was saying, there was like little to no info about the MLM flag being transphobic. The only
Hmm.
thing I could find was people saying it either in TikTok comments or like somebody without sources and stuff.
Because there's a lot of well documented stuff about the
Mhm.
lesbian flag in particular.
Yeah.
Mostly because lesbians have always tried to make themselves known and have always been kicked out. Like the axe battle, the battle axe flag. That thing is so fucking cool, but we don't use it anymore because it wasn't actually designed by a lesbian.
Mm. See, I saw that.
Uh, so the purple axe is still a symbol of lesbians. However, purple is actually just a queer color in general. Back in the day, instead of the rainbow, because we're not going to be wearing rainbows all the time, purple could have been used as a distinguisher that you're gay. In fact, I'm pretty sure that the Nazis used that. They used purple triangles. I'm checking
Yes.
triangles.
What was I gonna say? If it was ever like a widespread thing where I was seeing it everywhere, being like, "Hey, this flag is problematic. Take this down now," like I was seeing with the lesbian one, then I would be much more open to, pulling it down. But it was people. It was just like random furries every so often. Again, random younger furries every so often in my TikTok comments bringing it up. I never
Yeah,
saw
like,
any
if you-
posts about it or anything, and it was always
If
it
you
was always aggressive. Not always, because I did say that some
Yeah.
people genuinely asked and genuinely wanted to know. But like there were some that were just like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It was so many years ago.
I think it's one of those things that it turns out to be a little bit ridiculous because again, I can't even find anything. But like with the purple triangle, if someone said, "Hey, you can't use that axe flag anymore. The purple triangle is a Nazi thing," I can link you right to a uniform, my guy. Like there's
Yeah.
documented evidence. This is a
Mm.
very real thing. They use the for context for our viewers. The purple triangle was used in Nazi Germany to sort of the clothes of gay people, which would signify them as gay, similar to the Star of David on Jewish people. However, gay people chose to reclaim this color. So purple triangles. I think people were like putting them the correct way because Nazi Germany had them upside down. They'd use them to identify themselves and each other. I also think they'd sometimes put like a yellow triangle under it. Lesbian, and that's where the lesbian axe flag comes from.
Mm.
But then some people had problems with the fact that like it wasn't designed by a lesbian and they weren't totally sure about reclaiming this symbol yet. But officially, purple triangles are a gay thing and you can use them and it is a reclaimed symbol. But it's still important to know your history. There's a reason.
Well, it's all about it comes down to honestly just everything that we do nowadays. You should know why you're doing and what you're doing it for, right? Don't just read a
Yes.
headline and go, "Oh, that's the whole matter of it." Read the actual article. Same thing with this kind of stuff is like learn more about why you're running a certain flag. Why not? You know exactly what it's about so that you know what you're putting out there and be ready to answer for it. Just like in the same case where like if somebody goes, "Oh, hey, by the way, this is a Nazi symbol." You're absolutely valid to be like, "Oh my god, I didn't know this. I didn't realize this."
Yeah.
Now's the point where you need to probably not do that again, though.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
the
mean?
thing, yeah.
Don't try to defend it at that point. Just be like, "Look, I'm sorry, and I will fix this."
Like
Pepe the Frog is a Nazi symbol. That is not a
God.
joke. That is a real thing.
the
Yeah.
downfall of Doge, man. That fucking dog.
Shaking my head.
I used
The
to
polyamorous
love the
flag is super
dog.
fascinating.
Yeah, it was one of those where it was like, if people were in my comments being like, "Hey, this is genuinely problematic, here's why," and they like genuinely link stuff instead of just being like, "That flag is transphobic, use the other one," and it's like, what? Wait, hold on. And I remember asking around because I was like, "Hey, if this is genuinely a problem, I don't want to promote this." And I remember a bunch of my friends being like, "No, that's really not a big deal. I don't know what they're talking about."
I don't understand that either because don't we like put filters on all the flags anyway and like the can be slightly off?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't gotten any shit about it in the past couple of years, so maybe people did realize that there actually wasn't a problem with the flag, or people have moved on. I don't know. Those people that were giving me shit about it grew up a little bit, because
Like
once
the
again,
thing
we're
about flags
infighting.
is you can kind of do whatever you want. I was looking at the polyamorous flag and I found an example of a romantic flag. So this means pansexual polyamorous romantic. That's what that flag would mean because the heart in the middle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like, I do want to clarify, because I come off as kind of like a douche in this episode, just being like, "I don't want to change my ways," but like, I am more than willing to hear criticism and reasoning if people have like genuine examples of why I shouldn't do something. But
I don't think you come off as a douche at all. In fact,
Okay.
I would wholeheartedly believe that some fucking capitalist came out there and said that this flag is transphobic, spread it around just to make
Wait.
us buy more
that's
fucking
so
merchandise.
smart.
So-
We gotta do that. Hold on. We gotta design a
Hey,
flag.
we already are. That's why I
We
brought up
are?
the polyamorous flag.
Yo.
The polyamorous flag history is very complicated, but only because of gay people. The lesbian flag actually has really fascinating history. The polyamorous flag is just angry.
I'm saying
So
us,
we came out.
I'm,
Go ahead.
I'm saying us three need to design a flag and then convince everybody not to use the old flag for some reason.
I'm so down. I would
Yeah.
make this happen in a real controversy. I love the history of the polyamorous flag because the original polyamorous flag was created by some guy to represent his sexuality, and the meaning behind it is very, very sweet. Polyamorous flag meaning.
I remember because it was like
Mm.
the symbol pi
I do remember.
never ends, was it? And it was like never ending love or something like that. We talked
I
about
think it
this in
means like
episode 2
we did.
A
The
while ago.
a while
blue
ago.
represents openness and honesty amongst all partners involved. Bright red represents love, passion, and desire. Black represents solidarity between people who have to hide their relationships from the outside world. And the Greek letter pi means two things. First, it represents the first letter of of polyamory. Second, p. Second, the mathematical symbol is an irrational number whose value is known to be infinite, as an acknowledgement of the infinite relationship possibilities in ethical non-monogamy. The symbol's
Bam.
gold emphasizes emotional attachment between partners, whether romantic or platonic, opposed to merely primarily physical connections. That is a beautiful flag, but it was very unliked because it is horribly colored.
It's not great in terms of the colors. I think we all
Like,
agreed on that in that episode.
I think we did too. Like, this flag was so universally unliked because it was considered so ugly and so, like, it didn't fit into any other gay flags. But, like, the symbolism behind it, actually gorgeous.
Yeah, it's good.
And the people just started coming up with their owns and similar meanings because the original meaning is still there. And a lot of people use, like, this little heart symbol now too.
Yeah.
But I think the polyamorous flag is so funny. It's literally just this guy who had such thought behind this flag. And then, honestly, like, you should have had a woman look at it. One woman needed to look at this flag and edit the colors a little bit. And now there's no consistency in the polyamory flag. I do like the one with the little gold heart. That's kind of my favorite one.
Yeah.
You're making Misha edit so hard this week.
Oh no! I did not mean for that.
You're good. I am gonna say
Misha.
we should start gearing towards wrapping up because I got to stream in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I
gotta
don't give a
shower.
fuck.
Whoa, Solace, how dare you?
Move your stream, bitch.
I did! I moved it back an hour so we could do this today. We agreed to record on Tuesdays.
Over there.
So I moved my stream on Tuesdays, but it's Monday, and we're doing this Monday. So I had to move Monday's stream and move Tuesday's stream back where it was.
This is what happens when you have
I'm
three
gonna
people with schedules and life happening.
Oh my god.
I go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just to kind of piggyback on all the stuff that was said, because I find it really funny now that because I think Ruby's even as much detached as we used to be. Like me and Ruby used to be like Twitter fiends and just watching all of the drama always, and we are so not that anymore. We see a little bit of it, but just realizing how much being away from Twitter, and then I notice it on TikTok where it's either the infighting on TikTok or there's a lot of people that make videos on certain things that happen, right? And I'm not going to say they're not valid. It's definitely more so just one of those things where you're just too online. You wouldn't need to make that video and you wouldn't care if you weren't too much online.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that a lot on TikTok when I do catch the furry side of drama stuff. I see it and I go, okay, I get it. I get why you're saying this and why you're upset. But also, this video just didn't need to be made because it's not going to do anything. The actual initial problem isn't a big issue. Yeah, you're just kind of throwing it out there to throw out your opinion, which is fine. You're allowed to do that. It's just not a big deal.
I saw a video that had like 0 likes, 0 comments, and it was literally just a photo of somebody being like, "You guys should block this person because they were very disrespectful to me." And I was like, I feel like this could have been like solved in the DMs. I don't think this had to be like a TikTok post. 0 likes, 0 comments. What are you doing? Why is this on my For You page?
What makes somebody want to like bring it up online? Like,
their age starting with a 1. That usually does.
Well, I've had problems with people that I've thought, do I just like fucking put this dude on blast and just say it on Twitter?
Can I? Oh, okay. I don't think I can talk about it.
Well, this may or may not get cut, or maybe
an
just go to
update.
Patreon.
I don't know if we published that. That might be a Patreon exclusive part. As a matter of fact, it's going to be a Patreon exclusive part. If you're listening to me say this now, it's a Patreon exclusive part. And if you would like to listen to us talk about it, our Patreon is linked down in the description below. It's nothing weird. It's nothing raunchy. It's just a conversation that we feel is important to have, but certain people that we are talking about will take it and ride that high of any attention for the next few decades. And I just don't want to get involved in that. So are we all in agreement? Say aye.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's something the three of us want to talk about.
Yeah.
But it may start unnecessary beef, or it's just stuff that we don't really want to put out on the podcast itself. But y'all on the Patreons can listen in if you want.
Yeah. It's just, oh my god.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your support. Speaking of the Patreons, I gotta pull those up because now I have 10 minutes until I stream. So,
yeah.
Thank you so much to Key, Webster, George W. Bush, Alistair the Hyena, Penstamon, Thawcade, Quaddle, Bogey Bravo, Blue Pack Wolf, Argo, Mighty Halfman, Emberion, Zombie Brains, Loriafia, Landon Yeen, Sycamore, Heartless Hero, Pip the Badger, Rays, Fio Firefox, Corlean R, Kai, Quint, Carnelian Fox, and Steam Pony, and Ankara.
Woo! You're all amazing looking.
Yes, you all look incredible. Your hair smells nice.
Did you do something with your hair?
Yeah.
Stop smelling their hair, Misha. Gee.
I'm a dog. It's what I do.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Sniff, 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 sniff.
I'm looking for it.
While you're looking for that.
Yeah.
Ah, it hurts. It's so in my ear holes. Ah,
it's so good.
Cat.
One more time for the road. Yeah. That's the good shit.
I know, I like it too, Misha.
It's so good.
Gives me like
shout out to our Discord, who actually all of these sound effects are from people in the Discord. Well, in my Discord. in the
Discord, yeah.
Bark, meow.
Remember that one time we talked about making a separate Discord?
Yeah, how did we feel about that?
It's still.
Oh, we want to. We just need to do it.
We're still planning on it.
Misha still has to teach me to upload on Saturdays.
We have a lot of things we're planning on doing.
That's right.
We have a lot of things we're planning on doing. Join our Patreon and see updates on updates on actually so much shit. I gotta.
Yeah. We're still in the rented cafe until the remodeled cafe happens.
Yes, I was working on the remodel actually.
Oh. All right. That's gonna be it. From us.
Love you.
Love you. Bye, everybody.
This episode, the touch grass and get off the internet episode.
Yeah, basically.